Hello, church. Today we are here to do a special interview. I'm Brian Kelly, the youth director here at the church, and I have with me Jim Packer, who is the chair of our Endowment Committee here at this church. And since it's been little while, we've had a big pandemic, and we haven't had a chance to share much information about the Endowment Committee. We want to learn a little bit more about what the endowment does here at this church. So, Jim, welcome to our little interview here. And why don't you tell us about the endowment and what you guys do with that committee?
All right, thanks, Brian. In 1999, the fund was begun. We had a $40,000 gift from a person in the church to the church, and Cal Meyer was quite instrumental in getting that fund off the ground. It is backed by the United Methodist Foundation.
Okay.
And we are currently able to say to you that we have about $100,000 as principal, which draws interest, and it is the interest that we can use for the different projects. Now, some of the projects that have already been taken care of are the TV screens that you can watch what the proceedings in the sanctuary are without having to actually be in the sanctuary.
Okay, sure.
And their computer upgrades and things of that sort for the offices, that's been part of it. And then very recently, the streaming equipment, we were able to fund some of that. Not all of it, but some of it.
Right.
And basically, the big thing has been the sanctuary renovations.
Okay, good.
And those are just examples of some of the things that the endowment fund monies go for.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, there may be some people who are watching who are not sure how to contribute to the endowment fund. You've shared what you do with the money, but how do people go about contributing into the endowment fund, and maybe even a little bit about maybe people don't really understand how it works?
Well, all right, let's see what we can do about that. The endowment is where you have a set amount of money that is able to create interest.
Correct, right?
And the interest is the money that is used.
Okay.
So that the principal never, ever decreases. You hope that it would increase.
Uh-huh.
Now, some folks, you hate to bring up funerals and
right.
things along that particular line, but primarily it's that impetus that gets people thinking along the lines of gifts to the church. And the endowment fund is just one way.
Right.
The other big one is our memorial fund.
Sure, yep.
And I'll put in a plug for that. If you have a specific thing in mind with the monies that you are donating to the church in memory of, then that would be a good thing for the memorial, because you've got something in mind. I would like the money to go to help get this.
Okay.
If by chance I really don't know, then the endowment fund is available as well, and we would put the monies that would come in memory of someone, they would go into the principal, so that the monies that were given in honor of the individual then would be able to be used at any time.
Sure.
Because we certainly do not spend down all that is earned.
Okay.
And I would say that if that is the case, then with the envelopes that come with a funeral service or something like that, if you would put the endowment fund on the check and on the line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's to the church. Yes, it is to the United Methodist Church, but we would like it to go into the endowment fund.
Okay.
And that would be one way. Another way would be to just actually put it in with your regular giving if that's what you want to do,
Okay.
because you are writing it to the church and specifying that this is where we would like the money to go.
Okay. So typically when someone passes away, and to honor that loved one, their family would make a donation to the endowment or to the memorial, depends on what they're looking for. Okay. But I think I'm hearing that it's if I happen to run across an extra $500,000 in my life, which I don't see happening in the near future, but if I was and I wanted to give that to the endowment, then I could just go ahead and do so, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Could I do that with $5 if I really wanted to?
Any amount.
Okay. So that's just a way to help support. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing with that of how it works. It would seem to me that if people need more information, they could probably just contact Kim in the church office, and she could direct them to you,
Correct.
or to others who may be involved. Okay. All right. So we want to encourage you, church, to be considering ways to support our church for years to come, and mostly we wanted you to be aware that this endowment fund exists, so that you can have that as a part of your considerations for future times. So, Jim, thank you very much for coming in to sharing with that.
You're more than welcome, and
All
thank
right.
you for having me.
All right, we're glad. All right, to all you watching, have a fantastic evening.